Welcome to The Deep Dive. Today we're jumping into a really foundational text, one that's shaped so much thinking around effectiveness for years. Stephen R. Covey's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
It really is timeless, isn't it?
Mm,
A guide that just keeps giving.
totally. So our mission here is to, really unpack the core ideas, give you a shortcut to understanding these universal principles, things like character, growth, success.
Yeah, the fundamentals.
And Covey breaks it down nicely, right? 3 parts: private victory, then public victory, and finally, renewal.
Fascinating how relevant they still are. These aren't just quick tips, they're foundational.
Mhm.
We want to explore not just what they are, but really why they matter for you today.
Okay, let's get into it. We start with that first section, private victory. Habits 1, 2, and 3. This is all about building that inner foundation, mastering yourself first.
Before you can effectively work with others. Yeah, makes sense.
Exactly. So habit 1, be proactive. This one's huge. It's basically about taking responsibility, full stop. You're the creator, not, a victim of what happens to you.
Right. Choosing your response instead of just reacting.
Yes. Choosing based on your values, not just your mood or what's going on around you, and focusing on your circle of influence,
Yeah.
what you can actually control.
Instead of worrying about everything else, the circle of concern.
Right. Like, think about being stuck in traffic. It's a classic example. The reactive person gets mad, blames everyone.
We've all seen that. Or done it.
Yeah. But the proactive person, they might listen to a podcast, like this one maybe.
Or plan their day, stay calm, use the time.
Exactly. They choose their response, productive even.
And it's not just about doing stuff constantly. I think the deeper thing here is that little pause, that space between what happens and how you react.
Okay.
That's where your freedom is, to choose based on values, not just impulse. It's internal empowerment.
That makes a lot of sense. Intentionality. Which leads us right into habit 2. Begin with the end in mind.
Knowing where you're going.
Yep. Define your goals.
Yeah.
Clearly. Personal, professional, all of it. Know the destination before you start the journey, basically.
Like having a map.
Exactly. He talks about creating a personal mission statement, like a constitution for your life,
Powerful idea.
and aligning what you do every day with that bigger picture. He uses this really striking exercise, imagining your own funeral.
Oh yeah, that one hits home for a lot of people.
Right. What do you want people to say about you as a parent, a colleague, a friend?
It really forces you to think about what matters.
It's not meant to be morbid. It's about clarity, what's
Yep.
truly important that guides your decisions.
And it raises that key question, doesn't it? If you don't have that clear end in mind, how do you know if you're even, climbing the right ladder?
Good point.
Are your efforts pointed in the right direction? This habit ensures your actions are aligned with your deepest values, your true north. Otherwise, you're just busy, maybe going nowhere important.
Just drifting. Okay. So you've got your values, your destination. Now, habit 3, put first things first.
Prioritization. The big challenge for many.
Totally. Prioritize based on importance, not just urgency.
No.
Focus on what's meaningful, what contributes to that end in mind, not just what's screaming for attention right now.
This is where self-management really kicks in.
Yeah. Think about, say, exercise. It's rarely urgent today.
But incredibly important long-term.
Right. Versus, checking every single email notification the second it pops up.
Feels urgent. Often isn't that important.
Exactly. So this habit is about learning to say no. Saying no to distractions, to things that aren't your top priorities.
And saying a clear yes to what truly matters.
Right.
And what's fascinating here is how we all struggle with that urgency versus importance balance. Covey's time management matrix, those 4 quadrants,
Yeah, the quadrants are great.
they give you such a clear framework. He shows that real effectiveness comes from quadrant 2 activities that are important but not urgent.
Planning, relationship building, prevention.
Exactly. Stuff that builds capacity but doesn't usually shout for attention. It's self-management, putting your energy where it counts for you.
That urgent important distinction really is a game changer. Okay, so those are the private victory habits. You build that inner foundation.
Get your own house in order, so to speak.
Right. And then you're ready for public victory. Habits 4, 5, and 6. This is where you start building effective relationships with others.
Leveraging that self-mastery.
Precisely. Started with habit 4. Think win-win.
Mutual benefit.
Yeah, seek solutions where everyone benefits. It's not just about being nice, though.
No, it requires courage sometimes. and consideration.
Right. Finding solutions where everyone feels good about the outcome. It builds trust, respect, long-term collaboration.
Not just short-term wins that might damage the relationship.
Yeah. Like imagine two coworkers on a project. They both have strong but different ideas.
Okay.
Instead of one pushing their way or compromising into something weak.
They actually listen to each other.
Yes. And they work together to combine the best parts of both ideas. They create a third alternative, maybe something even better than either started with.
That's win-win. Synergy's starting to peek through there too.
Totally.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, this habit transforms potentially competitive situations into cooperative ones. It recognizes that success, especially long-term, isn't usually a zero-sum game. You build trust, which makes future wins easier for everyone.
That foundation of trust is key, which flows perfectly into habit 5. Seek first to understand, then to be understood.
Oh, this one is so powerful and so hard to do consistently.
Isn't it? Listen with the real intent to understand the other person, not just waiting for your turn to talk or figuring out your rebuttal.
Empathetic listening. Really trying to see the world through their eyes.
Exactly, because when people feel truly heard, genuinely understood,
They open up. Trust grows.
and then, only then, can you effectively share your perspective and have it actually land.
Think about a disagreement maybe with a friend or partner. Instead of interrupting, defending yourself right away.
You pause. You actually listen to their feelings, their viewpoint. Ask questions to clarify.
Right. Once they feel truly heard, then they're much more likely to listen to you without defensiveness.
Yeah, you can see that. It applies everywhere, even online arguments maybe. Though that's a tough arena.
Ah, yes. A very tough arena. But the principle holds. What's fascinating is how often we skip that first part. We're so eager to be understood.
Sure.
Resisting that urge to jump in with advice or our own story, that's the discipline here. It's not just politeness. It builds bridges, solves problems at a deeper level.
It changes the whole dynamic. Okay, so you understand them, they understand you. What next?
Synergy.
Habit 6, synergize. This is about valuing differences. Working together to create something greater than the sum of the parts. 1 + 1 = 3, or 10, or 100.
Celebrating diverse perspectives, talents, strengths, not just tolerating them.
Yes. Imagine that marketing team again. You've got your data person, your creative type, your strategy.
Different skills, different ways of seeing things.
Instead of working in silos, they really engage. They debate, challenge assumptions respectfully.
That creative friction.
Exactly. And out of that comes a campaign maybe none of them could have dreamed up alone. Something innovative, powerful. That's synergy.
And this raises an important point, I think. Synergy isn't about everyone just agreeing and being nice.
No, not at all.
It often involves navigating disagreement, that creative tension. The key is doing it respectfully, with a shared goal in mind. So the question for you, the listener, is how do you foster that? How do you genuinely embrace different viewpoints in your teams, your relationships, even when it feels, well, uncomfortable?
Great question. Okay, so we've covered private victory, public victory. That brings us to the final crucial habit, renewal.
Keeping it all going.
Right. Habit 7, sharpen the saw. The idea is simple but profound. Regularly renew yourself.
In all dimensions.
Yeah, Covey highlights 4, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual.
Like the woodcutter who's too busy chopping to sharpen his saw.
Exactly. He keeps working harder but gets less done because the tool is dull.
We do that to ourselves all the time.
We do. So sharpening the saw means taking time to renew. Physically exercise, nutrition, sleep.
Mentally reading, learning, planning.
Emotionally connecting with loved ones, empathy, service.
And spiritually could be meditation, nature, art, music, clarifying values, whatever feeds your core.
This isn't like a luxury add-on. Covey says it's essential.
It prevents burnout, builds resilience.
And makes you more effective in all the other habits long-term.
And what's fascinating here, or maybe concerning, is how often this is the first thing to go when we get busy or stressed.
Oh, absolutely. I don't have time to exercise or eat rally.
Right. But Covey argues it's not just about feeling good, though that's nice. It's about increasing your capacity. You can't be proactive, think win-win, or synergize effectively if you're running on empty. This habit keeps your personal resources replenished.
It keeps the engine running smoothly. So wrapping it all up, the core philosophy is really this inside-out approach, isn't it? Change starts within you. Build that character, that self-discipline with the private victory habits.
Get your foundation solid.
Then leverage that strength to build effective relationships and collaborate the public victory habits.
Influence outwards from that strong core.
And the whole system, everything, is sustained by that constant renewal sharpening the saw. These aren't quick fixes, not life hacks. They're long-term commitments,
Football.
principles, yeah. That can genuinely transform how effective you are, personally, professionally, everywhere.
Absolutely. And thinking about that holistic nature, and especially habit 7, sharpen the saw, maybe a final thought or question for you listening is this. If you had to look honestly at your own personal saw right now, those 4 dimensions, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, which one area feels perhaps the dullest? Which aspect, if you really committed to sharpening it, just that one to start, do you think would unlock the biggest positive difference in your effectiveness and well-being right now?
That's a powerful question to reflect on. Which area needs attention most urgently? Or rather, most importantly?
Precisely.
All right, and with that thought, we'll conclude this deep dive into Stephen R. Covey's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Yeah.
We really hope you take these insights, maybe ponder that last question, and see how applying these habits might make a difference for you.